Hey guys, Lisa from Wickwire here, and we're going to do a quick overview of why you're not landing that dream job of yours. We're going to talk a little bit about the different factors that could be affecting your chances, from the application process to the interview process, even to the follow-up after the interview. So let's get started. The first part of any job possibility starts with an application. Your application needs to be on point. Some of the most common deterrents for people getting asked for an interview are misspellings on the applications, incomplete applications. Perhaps you didn't see there was a part 4 or 5 and you stopped right at part 3. Poor grammar. This is huge. If you can't communicate on something that is supposed to be your best foot forward, hiring managers may have, a little bit of a tendency to worry about how you'll be able to complete tasks and how you'll be able to communicate within their business. And last but not least, professionalism. I cannot stress this enough. Remember, every application that you send in, every answer that you answer on an online interview or online application is something that your potential employer will be looking at. So you want to make sure that you are responding in full sentences, that you have great spelling, that you were able to really answer that question and didn't leave anything out. You want to make sure your best foot is always being put forward when you're putting in an application. Let's get into the interview. The biggest mistakes you can make during an interview is having a lack of knowledge about the job or company, showing a lack of passion during the interview, or the worst case scenario, showing up late without giving any notice. So let's go over these really quickly. The lack of knowledge just can be easily solved. Before you go into any interview, it does not matter if it's entry level or a top level management position in a restaurant. You want to make sure that you have done your research on this company. Know about the company. Know approximately how many people are in the company. Know what your job role is. Make sure to really study that job description. Also, know how your past experiences or your personality will parallel that job description. Be sure to have at least 2 to 3 solid examples as to why you'll be able to perform those responsibilities listed in the job description better than anyone else. And when you get in there, make sure you're energetic, you're enthusiastic. Show passion for that position. Show that you want to be a part of that team. A lot of hiring managers actually complain of applicants not really showing a lot of enthusiasm during their interviews. This is probably, able to be chalked up to being very nervous, maybe even being a little bit shy, but you have to put that aside during the interview and make sure that you're able to really relate to the person and show them just how badly you want this position. Last but not least, the showing up late part. Oh my gosh, guys, if you can avoid this, this would be great. Number one thing is showing up late. You're going to want to make sure that you always give notice. Make sure that the employer has notice and make sure that you have their number and their name also in your cell phone so that in case you get caught in traffic, it's easy for you to get in contact with them. So say you've had that wonderful interview, you followed all of those tips, and now you're done. You'll shake hands with the interviewer and you'll be on your way. You need to make sure that you are following up and that you're following up with interest. The 2 biggest concerns among hiring managers is that there's no follow-up and there's a lack of interest post-interview. Make sure you send a card. It can be a quick handwritten card that you just throw into the mail. If you want to, you can send an email to the hiring manager if you do have their email, but make sure at the very least you do send a card. And within that card, be sure to list 1 or 2 things that you spoke with the hiring manager about and how excited you are to have the opportunity to speak with them and possibly land the position. So guys, we've kind of gone over how you can improve your application process, your interview process, and even your post-interview process. So some really big things that I want to nail home. Make sure that you always are professional from beginning to end. You want full, complete sentences that are grammatically correct in your application. For the interview, you want to make sure you're full of enthusiasm and that you have a knowledge of the company and what you are supposed to be responsible for doing in the position that you're applying for. And after that interview, make sure that you are sending a follow-up email or better yet, a handwritten card to the hiring manager thanking them for their time, telling them how much you enjoyed the interview, and telling them how badly you want that job. Good luck in your job search, guys. I'll talk to you soon.